Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to discuss a little bit my thoughts on the elephant in the room, Torbjörn. Now lately, Torbjörn and Bastion have been under a little fire as being two things. First of all, considered OP to new players, and secondly, terrible to more skilled players. And the devs came out and said that they understand this completely and they're working to try to fix that, so I just wanted to kind of give my own 2 cents on the topic and give some suggestions on possibly how to fix Torbjörn. Now, believe it or not, Torbjörn was in my top 3 heroes I wanted to play right when I got into the beta. I played a ton of TF2 before, and for a huge chunk of time, I mained the engineer. I just love the playstyle of placing down sentries that help you in combat, which is mainly why Symmetra is my favorite support right now. And when I first started playing beta, I kind of tried out Torbjörn, and he seemed just as good as everyone else, and that's mainly because I was new, just like everyone else. That's probably also why every defending team near the start of the beta had at least one Bastion or Torbjörn, and if you didn't, you were doing something wrong. And when I made my Overwatch First Impressions video, I said that in my opinion, everyone was pretty balanced. Like, I understand that there were some heroes that were a little strong, but it still felt like everyone had their own little purpose that they fit in, including Torbjörn. And I still feel that way to an extent. Torbjörn can be very good against certain heroes on certain maps, etc., but it seems to me that he fits into team comps way less than others, like Reinhardt or Widowmaker. It seems like Widowmaker or Reinhardt could be picked way more often and be effective than, say, a Torbjörn. At times, I will literally just sit down and play Torbjörn straight for 2 to 3 hours hoping to get something to work, and yes, there are games like these that picking up a Torbjörn end up working out really, really well, but I feel like the more I play, the less effective Torbjörn ends up being. Because even if I do really well in a game, I can't help thinking to myself how much better I could have done if I had just chosen a Reaper, or a Hanzo, or a Winston. But there are several things that could improve Torbjörn as a hero. Now the first part of Torbjörn is of course his turret. His turret does too little damage and has too little health. And the way I see it, they can spin Torbjörn into 2 different types of playstyles. One, the playstyle where you use your turret to provide covering fire, but you're still active in the battlefield and not just camping behind your sentry hitting it with a hammer. Or 2, the playstyle where you want to bunker down in a room or corner and just protect your sentry. And with the scrap system that's in place right now, it feels like Blizzard wants to make him a part of the main team fights, not just sitting behind a sentry. The only problem with that is, if you leave your sentry alone for even 10 seconds as Torbjörn, it's most likely gonna die. The turret has way too little health to allow people to leave their turrets alone without worrying about them. And I understand if Blizzard wants to promote Torbjörn players to actually get away from their turrets and into the combat, the sentry doesn't need a ton of damage. It could stay the way it is now and it would be fine, just a level 3 turret does not need to die in 3 to 4 hits from a Reinhardt. Now, if Blizzard is wanting Torbjörn to camp behind his sentry, then I think they need to rework the scrap system completely. Because having to collect scrap for his turrets just feel like a chore. I don't want to have to go run around for scrap while the rest of my team is doing something else. And lastly, one other thing I think needs work is his armor packs. His armor packs are just frustrating to use on so many levels. On one hand, they're almost impossible to give to teammates because of the fact that instead of targeting a teammate like Symmetra, you throw them on the ground. I can't even count how many times I've been trying to give a teammate armor that's running by to just have the armor pack land right behind them and have no one notice them. On top of that, I don't ever want to even use my armor packs unless I'm using my ultimate because I don't want to waste scrap that I could be using on making my sentry stronger. If I don't have a level 3 sentry, there isn't any incentive on wasting the little scrap I have to give some armor to teammates. So in my opinion, Torbjörn's armor pack and the entire scrap system as a whole needs some reworking. One main suggestion I have for his armor pack could possibly be a placeable tiny machine that would give teammates near it armor instead of the armor pack. It could even cost 100 scrap to make players choose between what they wanted to create first, a sentry or an armor machine. But that's just my feedback on Torbjörn as he is right now, and if you guys have any other thoughts or suggestions about Torbjörn, I would love to hear them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more Overwatch content and news. Like always guys, see you next time.